Hello and welcome to Hawk Talk TV. I'm Katey Flynn. To break it down for you, the Hawk Talk TV show is where we are going to talk to QU coaches this semester. The show is going to include their current, previous, and future seasons. Today I have Brad Hoyt, the men's basketball head coach, with me. Thank you so much for coming in.
Looking forward to it. Thank
How you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Good. Let's go right into Thursday's game. You played Lincoln. You'd played them previously in the season, and it been a close, tight game, and then now coming out with the 77-58 victory. Talk to me a little bit about the adjustments you made to push over the top and get that big win.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is we're part of the year where adjustments are very minuscule, right? Like it's about execution, and it's about our personality and all those sort of things. So I thought our guys really defensively did a really, really good job on Thursday. They've got a couple all-league level guys. And they've gone through it like we have, just roster turnover and some things of that nature. So I think we're both sort of searching for wins at that point. But I thought our guys specifically on the defensive end did a great job with their energy and their ability to communicate. And again, a lot of times when you do that, the result ends up working out for itself.
Yeah. Multiple guys in double figures on Thursday's game. You had Tiernan Stides with 18, Ethan Bolton with 17, Jacob Wallingford almost with a double-double. Talk to me a little bit about just getting all this offense flowing. Really the best I've seen this season. Yeah,
again, our margin of error, specifically on the offensive end, is relatively small, just kind of our roster construct. So guys like Tiernan and guys like Bolt and guys like Jacob, and those guys have got to be huge pieces of what we're doing on that side of it. So when they're good, we're good offensively, to be honest. And so I thought both of them, part of it was our execution. We did what we really wanted to try to do. We're kind of shifting the way we're playing a little bit. And I thought our guys really excelled in that, and they were able to see the ball go in the basket, which is a good thing.
Yep, great win on Thursday. Let's move on to Saturday, senior day. Cameron Kincaid, Ethan Brown, great athletes, really brought leadership to the team. Tell me a little bit about those two.
They're a great fit. Two of our first signees when I got the job a year ago, and really kind of late, kind of June signees, if you will. And both of them have unique stories. I coached against Cam in junior college, and so I was very familiar with him and his family. And Ethan walked in a boot. He was hurt, trying to find a new spot, and had a relationship with parts of our staff. So we're internally indebted to those two guys to choose us a year ago. And as we sort of shift a lot of things behind the curtain in a place that we feel comfortable with, obviously in front of the curtain hasn't been great. The wins and losses results haven't been exactly where we want them to, but those two guys are huge pieces in us sort of changing sort of the personality and the culture of where our program is. So we'll be indebted for them. They've got unbelievable futures ahead of them, and we're really fortunate that we crossed paths with them.
Moving on to the game, you had played them earlier in the season, 60-93 loss. Not your best game earlier in the season, but then coming out and only losing by 10. What was the switch in the game plan and just being able to tell your guys that they can win?
Well, I think a lot of it, I think it was more about our inability to perform on that first weekend in January, even more so than what our execution was on Saturday. So that first one was a one-off. It wasn't very good at all. So I thought our approach was good. I mean, I thought defensively we were really good. Just offensively, again, when our guys, we had to have a certain amount of guys, and certain guys really have an impact on the game on that floor, on that side of the floor. They're super physical, but we gave ourselves a chance. You know, we had a 5-point game with 5 minutes to go or so, and again, they're a good basketball team with some upperclassmen that kind of pulled away.
I've gotten to see a lot of games, luckily for me, and so I've got to see the improvement the team has made, and somebody who just looks at the record might not be able to see that. But getting to watch them perform every single, honestly, day, tell me a little bit about just the difference in the team from the beginning of the season to now.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of differences, and again, some of it is, and we like every team, have struggled with the injury bug, and our roster construct was a little bit off with some of those injuries. And so to be able to sustain that for a long period of time was really hard in college basketball. And so you got young guys that maybe are thrust into roles that you didn't anticipate them to be thrust into. But I think we're getting better. And I think our culture is getting better. Our conversations are better. Our group is still very connected. I thought our way we shared the basketball last weekend kind of speaks to that. When you're going through some of the results, and everybody wants to win, right? Everybody wants the result. But for us, as we try to build a program, a long-term program, we've got to have a lot of the baseline things in place. And this group in particular are the right kind of humans, the right kind of people. We'll get a bunch of them back, and then we'll be able to kind of make the next step in front of the curtain or on the results side.
Moving on to this week, on Thursday, you play Maryville University. Although not a great record, they did just beat Lewis in their first conference win. Yep. So tell me how you prepare your team for that.
Again, we're at a point where it's about us, to be honest with you. So we've gone through the rough part of our schedule for sure. The heavy hitters we've had here in the last 4 weeks or so. So again, Maryville struggled a little bit like we've struggled, trying to find ways to win and how they're going to win, and we're doing the same thing. So more so about what they are, it's about us building, moving forward, and how are we better next week than we are this week in getting into the postseason or getting into the off season with an idea that we've made some improvements at the end. So they're talented. They're actually really, really talented. They've gone through a little bit of turmoil, but they're really talented. We got a lot of high-level individual talent, but it's about us being us and us continuing to get better, and we're looking forward to having a chance to do that on Thursday.
And then Saturday against McKendree, a little bit different, higher up in the conference. Not unbeatable though.
No, I mean, I think what we've shown and lived is that we're this close, right? Like you feel like you're close, but that little bit that's left is absolutely the hardest part in sports. McKendree's really good. They've been top 25 in the country most of the year. Defensively, they're elite. But we've played teams similar to that. We've had some success against teams similar to that. So again, it's about us trying to stack days, trying to stack wins, trying to stack conversations, try to stack personalities, try to stack development, and McKendree will be a great opportunity to be able to do that on Saturday.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thanks, Katey.
Coming up this week for the men's basketball team, they play Maryville on February 19th away and McKendree University February 21st as well. Look out on GLVC Network to support the men's basketball team later this week. That is all we got for today from Hawk Talk TV. Thanks for joining us, and make sure to check out more stories and highlights at QUmedia.net and our QUTV social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. Goodbye.